Hello and welcome to a new video, and today it is the first day on board of the TUI Mein Schiff Herz. That will soon be the Marella Voyager. It was one of its last cruises for the German TUI cruises, and we are sailing to the Azores. And that's why actually this video is not only about the first day but about the first 3 days, because the second and the third day were sea days. So this will be all together in this video, and we start the video at the airport of Tenerife South, where we landed 2 videos ago. And as we booked our flight together with the cruise, there was a shuttle included to the port that took about 45 minutes. We went to the capital of the island of Tenerife, city of Santa Cruz, and there was our beautiful ship docked and we had our embarkation there. Check-in was quite efficient and fast. It took just a few minutes, even though there were several buses coming at the same time, but still it was quite fast. And we were not the only ship in port. There was the La Belle des Océans cruise ship of Croisière Europe, French cruise operator that is mostly doing river cruises, but they also have 2 small sea ships. Then we had to wait quite a few minutes in front of the ship due to the safety check being done on board, as the terminal in Santa Cruz does not have a security check. But that was also not a problem, because it was a nice temperature outside, so even the rain didn't bother. And here we can see our beautiful cabin with the number 5002 right at the bow of the ship. And here we can see the bathroom, and now we can take a closer look into the cabin. That is standard with TUI cruises. There is an espresso machine in the cabin with 1 coffee per person free of charge. We have a hairdryer, and the only downside is there's only 1 power socket available. So if you're traveling on the Mein Schiff Herz, you are not allowed to bring a multiple socket, but you can rent it at the reception. And if the ship will be the Marella Voyager, maybe those cabins will also get refurbished. I'm not sure about this, so maybe it will look completely different, and maybe then there will be also more power sockets available. And we continue our tour through the cabin. Here we see the wardrobe. It's very spacious with a lot of storage space and also a safe. Here we have the minibar with a few drinks, but you need to pay extra for them. And then next to the bed we also have a bedside table on each side. And here we have our porthole. And that is the bathroom with a lot of storage space and a comfortable shower with a real door, not a shower curtain. Even though the bathroom is rather small, it has a very smart layout, so there is a lot of space. And then it was time to watch the other ships in port. Santa Cruz de Tenerife is a very big ferry port, so there are quite a few interesting ferries, even some trimarans. So that was very interesting, and with that we had the first drink on board. With TUI cruises, drinks are included in the fare, so you do not have to pay extra. Of course, not all drinks are included, but a wide selection. And now it was time for our first dinner on board. Here you can see what the food looks like on a Mein Schiff cruise. It is, I would say, home-style cooking with a little twist, so it's a bit more, but not too extraordinary, so that it is not boring, but also there is something for everybody. So it's a quite nice style of food that they are offering. And after dinner it was time for the sail away party that took place on the pool deck with live music. And as soon as we left our docking location, it was time for the sail away music. And the sail away song on the TUI Mein Schiff is a song by a German artist called Unheilig. The song is called Große Freiheit, which means great freedom, in the sense of feeling free when you're on the ocean. So it is fitting very well, and it's a very, very emotional and nice song. So probably you don't know it as it's a German song, but I highly recommend searching for it on YouTube. It's a very, very nice song. Maybe you'll find something where you can also read the lyrics, and then you will see why this, in my opinion, is the best sail away song of all companies. We left Tenerife at about 10 in the evening, and as we started very early in the morning with our flight, we were already rather tired, and after leaving the port we straight went to our cabin to catch up a little bit with sleep. and we continue our video with the second day, because day 2 was a day at sea with no ports of call. So of course the first thing we did was sleeping a little bit longer, but not too long, because we didn't want to miss the served breakfast in the Atlantic Classic restaurant. Germans usually prefer the buffet breakfast, but I do not really like it. For me, it's always a bit hectic and stressful to run to the buffet, and then people are arguing over food and waiting and queuing. And in my opinion, it is just way more relaxed to have the breakfast served. So that's why I also usually like British cruise ships, where this is much more common than on German ships. But here on Mein Schiff Herz, it is possible to have served a breakfast at the upper part of the Atlantic Classic restaurant. And as you can see, the ship was moving quite a lot, and that is because there were some long waves that are quite typical for the Atlantic Ocean. It was not too bad, but it can cause a bit of seasickness, especially on the first day when you're not used to it. So in case that you do have problems with seasickness, make sure to bring some medicine if you are traveling on the Atlantic Ocean. The weather was quite nice compared to the weather in Germany in February, where it was even snowing. Here we had about 15 to 20 degrees with a bit of sun and a bit of rain, but compared to snow and -5 degrees, I will also appreciate the rain. At the lunchtime we went to the La Vela Bistro, where we had some pizza and pasta, and after that we saw a beautiful rainbow, which is also an advantage if it's raining. And then we just explored the ship a bit more, tried to find our favorite places on board, which is usually what I always do on the first day, especially if it's a sea day. That's perfect to get known to the ship. Of course, that's much easier if it's just a small ship like the Mein Schiff Herz compared to more modern cruise ships with 5,000 or 6,000 passengers. And yeah, that's how we spent the first day. And in the evening we went to the sushi restaurant, which was very, very nice. We got the best service of the cruise here in the sushi restaurant. The waitress even recognized us a few days after and kindly greeted us and talked to us when she saw us, so that was really excellent service. And the food was very nice, but you have to pay extra for it, so it's not included in the cruise fare. And then we enjoyed a beautiful sunset, and finally there was another ship inside. The whole day we didn't saw any signs of civilization. The whole day there were no other ships, but in the evening we finally saw at least one other ship. And as I always like to try out every bar and restaurant on a cruise ship, we also went to the Unschlagbar, the smoking bar on board. We do not smoke, but we just wanted to be there at least once. And then we had a burger as a late night snack, and it was time to sleep again, and we continue this video on day 3. As you can see, the weather was even better with bright sunshine, so we spent most of the day on the outdoor decks, on the sun decks. First, we found a free hammock and just enjoyed the sun a little bit. Then we moved on to a bar, and for lunch we went to the Gosh restaurant, which is a quite famous German fish restaurant to be found in several cities in Germany, and they also have one restaurant here on the Mein Schiff Herz. We had to wait a few minutes before a table was available. And that is how the food was looking like. It was nothing too special, it was just a normal fish restaurant, to be honest. But in this case it's also important to mention that it is included, so you do not have to pay extra for anything you saw here. So that was also quite nice. And even nicer was the surprise when we got back to our cabin. Just look how beautiful our cabin looked. Our housekeeper made a very nice dock made out of our bed sheets, so that was a very nice surprise. And then we spent the rest of the day in the Schau bar, played some card games and watched the beautiful ocean whilst the ship was still moving quite a bit. And then finally it was land inside. The first island of the Azores was inside, and that was the island of Santa Maria. It was not a destination of our cruise, we just sailed past it. It is the southernmost island of the Azores. And then we went shopping, and after that we had a table reservation at the La Spezia, the Italian restaurant on board. This is also a restaurant where you need to pay extra, and as you can see, the food looked very, very nice and it was also very tasty, so we really enjoyed staying there at the restaurant La Spezia, and in my opinion it's also the nicest looking restaurant on board. And my favorite was the dessert. It was a very unique combination of ice cream and olive oil and pumpkin seed oil. Sounds very, very strange, but believe me, it was a very nice surprise. Ice and oil matched surprisingly well. It was very, very nice. So it was also a very nice evening. After that we went to a show in the theater, but there was not allowed to make any videos, so I cannot show it to you. And therefore that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Here you can see when the next video, the first day on the Azores on the island of Terceira, will be uploaded, and also you can see the name of the song. And as always, I'd like to say thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please consider to comment, like, subscribe or share a video link, and I hope to see you in my next video.